problems on problems on problems on problems on problems on problems I solve them. I run through the money, the pressure be calling. Left on my blessings, I feel like I'm falling. The birdie is back, tell me I'm garbage. I'm going through something, that's why I ain't calling. Phone and progression, it's all that I wanted. The phone and affection, I summon and dumb it.
Mustang? Mustang time? Is it Mustang time? What is going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to the vlog. If you're new to the channel, I'm going to show you a few things that we've got going on with my 2018 single turbo Mustang that I'm going to try and get done before the next private track round. So if you guys don't know, I was just at a test and tune at Texas Motorplex in Ennis, Texas. It's about 6 hours away from here. We live in Amarillo, Texas. So Dallas isn't right down the street. We've got to travel for some good air and for a good track. But anyways, we are headed back that way January 4th for actually, this time it's a private track rental put on by TJ Bailey and T&E Promotions. January 4th. I think anyone can come out and watch. It probably costs like 10 or 20 bucks to get in, but they're limiting the car count to only 20 cars. So it's gonna be a super nice day out. Weather should be good and the track should be awesome. So guys, a few things we're gonna change up. I did finally get the SVE bump steer kit because if you guys know, I did put a manual steering rack on the car and the ends of the steering rack was not the same thread, so I had to switch to S197 tie rod ends, and then they were a little bit too long, so I had to cut them in order to get the alignment correct. So I'm gonna put these nice bump steers. Got these on Lethal Performance, I believe. SVE, you guys can go to lethalperformance.com and get your parts. But anyways, switching to these bump steers, I'm gonna get these installed over the weekend. I did get some rear coil spacers. If you guys know, these are a 15 by 9.33. This is the only size 15-inch you can fit without doing like an AED knuckle on the rear, and you do have to do a smaller brake in the rear. But this is a 15 by 9.33, and the only problem is we weren't able to get it to zero camber. I know it's kind of hard to tell, but we're like point something degrees off. Anyways, we're gonna fix that by doing these adjustable BMR control arms in the rear. They just came out with these. Super nice. Like I said, they're adjustable and you can grease these fittings, so it should last a long time. You guys can use my discount code VANV39 if you want to go to bmrsuspension.com. Link in the description. But anyways, I did get these coil spacers because if you guys notice when the car squats, it doesn't rub the tire. However, it's gotten really close. I'm sure it's rubbed like a few times, but when the car squats like it does, this will give us just a little bit of extra room so we're not rubbing on the tire. So anyways, I picked up these little coil spacers, got the upper control arms from BMR, and then we got some tie rod end links to help with the alignment in the front of the car. But pretty much that's all we're gonna change. I was gonna try and lose some weight in the car, but there's just not enough time. And BMR, they're out of the K members right now. Like I said, I was gonna try and do the K member, but pretty much we're running out of time. It's only a few weeks away, so I'm just gonna get a couple of suspension mods done, get the car aligned, and pretty much run it how it is. And then obviously we're gonna turn the boost up in the Tangstang for one last time on the stock engine and see what it can hold. Now, obviously you guys saw the title of the video, and I'm gonna get to that in just a second, but I'm gonna give you a cold start on the Tangstang first. telling you, usually it's not that loud. It's just loud because I haven't started in a few days. Literally, once the car calms down, it's pretty quiet for having a hood exit exhaust. All right, guys, I don't know how many times I've gotten this question since I've turboed the Mustang. If you guys haven't been around, I got the Mustang last January, like the end of last January, and I haven't even had it in a year, obviously, but I turboed it back in April, and it's kind of been a project ever since then. But I think we started on the project in April, and once the car was turboed and running and people really saw what it could do, obviously people's biggest question was, have you raced ITSJUSTA6? Are you going to race ITSJUSTA6? Probably the funniest time I've gotten asked this question is I was at O'Reilly's about a couple weeks ago getting some parts, because you know I go to O'Reilly's about 7 times a day, or Home Depot when I need bolts. Anyways, the kid goes, hey man, you have that orange Mustang, right? I said, yeah. He goes, have you raced ITSJUSTA6? What do you mean have I raced him? The guy lives in Louisiana. I live all the way over here in Amarillo, Texas. And then he goes, well, are you gonna race him? I said, sure. You call him and tell him and I'll line up. Guys, nothing against ITSJUSTA6. I actually watch his channel and there's some good info on there for Mustangs. Now, I don't watch every video, however, I do watch a lot of the car content because I do like to see what he's doing to his Mustang, and obviously some of the stuff he has, you know, I've got some of the same parts too, and he runs a lot of BMR stuff, so I kind of like to see what he does. Anyways, no, I have not raced ITSJUSTA6. Am I going to? I don't know, guys. I can't just call him and say, hello, Gavin, would you like to race me on December 27th at the Motorplex or January 4th at the Motorplex? It just doesn't happen like that, guys. There's not a YouTube group and everyone just talks to each other and says, hey, you want to meet up? You guys got to remember, my channel is only 27,000 subscribers at this time, which I'm very grateful for, but I kind of just build my car on the side and I just happen to film stuff and it caught on a little bit, you know? I have a regular job, I don't do YouTube full time. However, I do like to film everything that I do for the car because a lot of you guys don't have someone to look up to or to look to for information, or even when stuff doesn't work for my car, I think it's good information for people out there. That way they don't do it. You got to remember, this is a 2018 Mustang GT, so it's a little bit newer and not everything that people have done is out there quite yet. Now, when you get like a 2015 to 2017 6R80 car, a lot of that information is already out there, but when I first started messing with the 2018 Mustang and the 10-speed, not that many people were messing with it yet. Now, we're later in 2019, so a lot of people are starting to figure out what these motors can hold, what the transmissions can hold. You know, just there's a lot more information out about them. So whether you like my videos or not, I put them out there. Maybe they'll help someone. Maybe they'll give you some ideas, or maybe they'll tell you what not to do to your car. But I just like working on cars and racing cars in general, and I just happen to film them and happen to have a decent subscriber base, which, like I said, I'm grateful for. However, I do watch ITSJUSTA6. I would race him. I don't know if that'll ever happen. You gotta remember, that's a very large channel. He doesn't see, you gotta think, I mean, there is tons of Mustang channels, and you don't even hear about all of them, because maybe they're smaller, they're bigger, they're in a different demographic. YouTube is really weird how it works. I come across new channels all the time that are bigger than my channel or the same size, and I'm like, man, I've never even heard of this person, so I go check them out and I like to watch their videos because I want to support some of the smaller YouTube channels. Now, Gavin ITSJUSTA6 has built a very badass car. Obviously, he's run into some troubles with some engine issues, but he has a very well put together car. It's a manual car, it's a man trans, so obviously it's a little bit harder to get down the quarter mile. So my hat's off to him trying to chase, you know, some of the stick shift records, which they're getting very, very fast. John Miller's car is very fast. Some of the Fat House Fab stick shift cars are very fast. But my hat's off to him. Like, I, on the other hand, like to do heads-up racing. I prefer 8th mile racing. However, I've done a lot of quarter stuff lately because I don't know why, but in the Mustang world, everyone cares about quarter mile. Whereas here in Texas, a lot of people do heads-up 8th mile racing where we're at. So I'm more into like the 8th mile stuff. However, I've been doing a lot of quarter mile stuff lately. But, you know, probably once the car gets the built motor, a little bit bigger turbo, we'll mostly do 8th mile. There's a lot of different things you gotta do for quarter mile, and to me, nothing against quarter mile, but 8th mile is really where the race happens. If you come around somewhere at the end of the quarter mile, that's just because you have more power. But the 8th mile, it's reaction time, good 60 foot, suspension, wheels, tires, all that stuff plays a role, and obviously you have to have power, and that's just a lot bigger where we're at. More 8th mile heads up grudge racing style. And we have a lot of 8th mile tracks near us, which are very, very good. Some of the best tracks we have around here, well, within like 5-6 hours, are 8th mile tracks, and they're awesome. But anyways, yes, I would race ITSJUSTA6. Is it gonna happen? Probably not. This is not a call out video or a talk shit video. I just thought I would address the issue because I seriously get the question. You can go back to some of my videos that I've recently posted about racing my Mustang, and a lot of the times people ask if I'll race ITSJUST6. Of course I would race him, like that would be fun, that'd be a good time. Do I think it's gonna happen? Probably not, unless we end up at the same event. He probably goes to different events that I go to. I go to all the streetcar takeover events. I go to 2K. I'm gonna try and go to World Cup Finals next year. I'm gonna try and go to Mod Nats. I don't really think he goes to those types of races. Now he might next year when the car's ready, but I don't think he really does that type of stuff. But I thought I would address the issue, kind of give you guys an update. A lot of people have asked me to make this video, and so I thought I would finally make it. Once again, just want to address the question that everyone wants to ask. Yes, the Tangstang would race ITSJUST6. Obviously, I have the upper edge with it being an auto. I still have to shift. I just don't have a clutch because it's a turbo 400, but I still got to shift my transmission. Obviously, he has a clutch. It's definitely a little bit harder to drive. Like I said, hats off to him. He's trying to get a manual car very fast, and I want to be fast all the time. I don't need inconsistencies of a clutch when I'm trying to worry about so many other things going on with the car. If you guys have watched my recent videos, I kind of went over how many things I have to mess with in the car to get it down the track, and there's a lot going on, and the last thing I would need is to add a clutch. And honestly, stick cars are just a lot harder on the drivetrain. Obviously, I have upgraded 2,000 horsepower DSS axles, but they don't last as long when you have a manual car. Obviously, you can break any aftermarket part, you can break a drive shaft, any of that stuff, but the strain that a manual car, the shock that it puts on the drivetrain, is a lot harder than any auto car. So hopefully that answered the question for you guys. If you have ITSJUST6 Gavin's number, feel free to call him or email him, tell him I'm ready to race. Anyways, hopefully you guys enjoyed that video. If you guys are ready to see the install video on the BMR parts, like I said, you can use Van V39 to get yourself some BMR suspension. Super good stuff. If you guys, I get this question a lot too, what BMR stuff I have on the car. I have their cradle lockouts, the vertical links, BMR drag springs in the rear and in the front, Viking shocks in the rear. I still have stock struts in the front. I need to switch that to a Viking coilover. That way we can tighten the front end down and we won't have any wheelie issues, put some limiters on it. But yeah, essentially that's it really. BMR cradle lockouts, vertical links, BMR drag springs, and then like I said, we're about to have the rear upper control arms. That way we can adjust the camber out to 0. We're gonna get the bump steer kit on the front, and like I said, we're probably gonna put these spacers, that way we're not getting close to rubbing the tire. But that's gonna do it for today's video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed that. If you guys like the content, make sure you hit that thumbs up button, subscribe, and I'll see you guys on the next one.
Left lane?
That was definitely
okay. Just want to make sure. Just double check.